Okay, so Santos, thank you for coming on. So I'm just a guy from Singapore. For those who don't know who Santos Bernardi is, I guess you haven't been looking deep enough because of the censorship in the search engines. But Santos has a huge body of deep work concerning real crucial issues. And this is the first time we've been speaking. He's been someone I've been looking to talk to for a while because I've managed to get a hold of a few good people in or some get a hold of a few people in so-called the movement. And Santos, he specializes in syncretism, and he's one of the few people who's willing to speak out on the true planner situation, at least on the earth. So hopefully that's a great way to introduce Santos Bernardi. Yeah, so maybe you can speak on that, Santos.
From here?
Sorry, brother, I missed that. You broke up. No, I'm going there.
Which part do you break off from?
Huh?
Which part do you break off from?
Mexico? I'm in Mexico.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Santos is in Mexico. I'm actually asking which part of the introduction do you break off from, Santos?
Which part of the presentation do I break up from? I don't understand.
Because just now I was trying to introducing you to the people of Singapore.
Okay. Yep. So my work is easily defined on my channel, Mr. Astrotheology, and my website is universaltruthschool.com.
So do you get any of the introduction that I did for you 2 minutes ago? Are you able to hear my voice properly? Or?
Yes, but there's a lot of echo and it's just breaking up. It's very, very hard to understand what you're saying.
Let me just try to adjust. Is it any better like that?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I think it's the volume because I got some people sleeping at home, so I don't want to project my voice way too much. But 1 hour would be good, lah. So let me just do the whole thing again. So Santos has a huge body of work. For those who have not come across, I guess you have not been looking, or you're not been alarmed to the fact that this whole COVID nonsense and what's really going on has really been about, and a whole deep censorship of the search engines. So there are the huge two topics which I really want to just dive into. One is the flat earth, which recently I came across. It seems to be pressing because of the people who I talk to, right, Santos, they never really touch on the most basic information, which is our planet. What's going on right there? Why do you feel some people just don't want to go past the most basic information, which is the plane that we live on?
Okay, I hope I come across clear because there's a lot of echo where you're coming from. So let's hope that this is okay, my audio. Okay, so the flat earth is the most important truth right now that the world needs. It's the most important truth. We live on a plane. That's why we call it a planet. Planet means plane, a plate, a disc. We are suspended in the universe. We are suspended electromagnetically in a torus field apple, because that's what the Holy Scriptures call them. I mean, I'm speaking from a lot of book reading. Most people, they don't read books. So I'm not speaking from my theories, my opinions, or my beliefs. This is how the earth is. It is a large apple, torus field. And in the center of that apple is the plane of inertia. Every atom is like this. Every atom is an apple. That's basically what atom means. When Adam and Eve ate the apple, they incarnated into the apple form. So Around you is a torus field, magnetic field. And the plane of inertia is your body going straight up and down. And there's one going across your heart, through your heart, across your heart. And that's the cross that is your body. So if you don't know where you live, you don't know anything. And from my point of view, I think people who don't know that the earth is flat are ignorant, and people who refuse to see it are stupid. You'll see a lot of people out there trying to debunk the flat earth. All of these people, they are stupid. They are stupid idiots misleading the blind who are ignorant. And they profess to be knowledgeable. They are all stupid. And the reason they are stupid, not like their very, very intelligent ancestors who knew all of them, every single culture in history up until the Jesuit Copernican global model came around and started as spinning around, and everybody's thinking they're living on a Santa ball. This is how stupid people are. They forgot that our intelligent ancestors, all of them, knew that the earth is a horizontal plane. That's why you look at the horizon in the morning. You don't look at the curve. You look at the horizon because it's horizontal. You look at the sea level because it's level. You don't see islands curving like this. Apparently, you can see Mauritius from Vanuatu. It's about 150 miles away. And apparently, you can see the whole length of the island. So you can see the whole length of the island. So let's imagine that to be the island. And guess what? There should be curvature. You should see the island, Mauritius, you should see it wrap around the curve of the globe, but you do not. You see the whole island flat as F-U-C-K, flat. That's why when you go up on an aeroplane, you don't see no curve. You might see roundness, like a round table, but that's not curvature. It's not global curvature. It's round curvature, like a round coin. And the earth is like a round coin. In the book of Revelation, it calls the earth a platos. Well, that's the Greek word for plate, plateau. In the Quran, it says that God has stretched out the earth like a carpet. Have you ever seen a carpet in a round room? Carpets are flat, aren't they? They're all flat. 99.999% of carpets. And that's how the Quran speaks of the Bible, a flat carpet. Bhagavad Gita says it's called Bhumandala. Bhumandala means flat earth. We all know what a mandala is. It's a flat disc with sacred geometric forms on it.
Kind of a pattern.
Yeah, but Bhu means the world. Bhumandala means the flat world.
Wow.
And so Wait a minute, someone's trying to call me on Skype. I'll just let them know I'm on a call.
Right, so I'm just gonna chip in here, Santos. So the moment I came across a flat earth, right, the rest of the so-called conspiracies just seem to fall away to non-importance. Like this is the most confrontational, yet the most important thing I've ever come across. Yet the big names I come across do not even speak anything about it. I even contacted some of them personally, and none of them wish to speak about this, but yet it's the most important thing.
I didn't get any of that, I'm sorry. So what I'll do is I'll just continue. I couldn't understand you. It was too broken up.
How about this? Is this any better if I cover it?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, so I'm just gonna chime into what you said just now. So recently I've interviewed a few good people, and some of them were the best in the field, so to speak. I find it very disturbing that none of them want to speak about the flat earth because it seems to be the most important issue. But then again, I don't see them talking about it. I even had the privilege of interviewing some of them, and then I've um, contacted them personally, especially just to touch on flat earth, and I haven't heard from them since ever again. So what is really going on? Why don't any of them want to talk about this? It seems to be the biggest issue. We don't even know the house that we live in.
Okay, so all of these guys, they think they know something. They think they're clever. These guys, they're all stupid. They're totally and utterly stupid. They are following a model that they believe in, and they don't even know their own model. When I debate with them, I give them the figures. I use their model and ask them how to support that model. For instance, this is one thing I ask them. So if you've got any brains and any intelligence and you follow the stars and you see the ecliptic and you see all the stars and all the constellations, you will notice after many, 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 many years of watching the stars that they never change their positions.
Yeah, they don't move. Yes. It's great.
Yeah. Okay. Please, it's too bumpy what you're saying. So just let me finish because
sure.
You'll throw me off, brother. You'll just throw me off.
This is
too important. Okay, so the Greeks knew, the Babylonians knew, the Egyptians knew that the stars hold their positions in the firmament. That's what's called the Van Allen belt. That's what we call the Kuiper belt or whatever, the asteroid belt. All those belts and all those spheres, like the atmosphere, stratosphere, thermosphere, ionosphere, all of those are electromagnetic fields. The most firm of these fields is the 8th field. The moon has the first, then Mercury, then Venus, then the sun, then Mars, then Jupiter, then Saturn, then Uranus. Uranus is the 8th. Uranus means the heavens. The heavens means the firmament. The firmament is a fixed dome over our earth, turning daily clockwise. What we see turning, and even in the south hemisphere, we see another turning in the southern, what's called the southern hemisphere, but there's an electromagnetic reason to explain how that phenomena, which is not a pole, happens. Only in the North Pole do you get this true turning of the chandelier. Bhagavad Gita says it is a chandelier, which is turning clockwise over the earth, and the stars are embedded in the firmament. Now, humanity has been researching and studying and tabulating the stars for 450,000 years, according to Diodorus and Plutarch, Macrobius, all the Neoplatonists. They all said the Egyptians and the Babylonians have been studying the stars for 450,000 years and have all records of everything, all the ages. And you know what? Taurus, Gemini, Orion, the Big Dipper, all of those patterns that you see every year, year after year after year after year, never changing their form, no distortion, no parallax, and yet they tell you that the stars of Taurus, for instance, Aldebaran will be, this is just an argument. I'm not being technical here at all. Don't quote me. So let's imagine they say Aldebaran is 8,000 light years away. Rigel is 400,000 million light years away. And Betelgeuse is 6 billion trillion light years away. Well, let me tell you something. If you're intelligent and not stupid like an upside down Santa Baller, you would know that the stars every night would be different. And yet every year, the boring old Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces, same shape, no change in brilliance, Every night they go over your head. Every night you can get your phone, you can get a smart app for your phone and follow the stars and follow the ecliptic. And you can see them moving and all the stars moving around clockwise over our heads. If you've got any intelligence at all, you need a shred of intelligence for this, folks, because if you don't get it, after this show, you should get it. If you don't, you're stupid. You are stupid. That's what you are, okay? Because I'm going to give you enough proofs so that you're going to fall off your Santa ball real nice and quick, like Cullen Smith, for instance. He's going to fall off and everyone's going to laugh. So those stars are still the same shape as they were 450,000 years ago. So this is what the globe heads tell you. This is how upside down spinning they are. They're dizzy, really dizzy. They tell you that their Santa ball has got 4 movements. First one is it's rotating around its axis at 1,040 miles an hour. That's about Mach 1.3. Faster than what jets fly. Think about it. Jets fly at about 400 or 500 miles an hour. The Earth is going faster than the jets, right? It's going at 1,000 miles an hour. So the Earth's going like this and the jets are going like this, trying to keep up. 1 motion. 2 motions. The Earth is orbiting the sun once a year. Oh, these guys are moving. I'm telling you, man, they're on the move. These globies, they are spinning real hard. So that's the speed of that is 666,000 miles an hour. Movement number 3. This is getting funny now. Movement number 3. Our sun, they tell you, thank you, Copernicus, you satanic Luciferian, Sabbatean, Jesuit liar who created the Copernican revolution. Look it up in Wikipedia. All you globetards, all of you stupid globetards, look it up now. The Copernican revolution, a Jesuit. Oh, actually, and by the way, he dedicated his book, Revolutions, The Lie of Revolutions, to the man who created the Jesuits, Alessandro Farnese, Pope Paul III. He dedicated his book to him. Well, isn't that interesting? And the Farnese family, aren't they one of the most prominent families of the global agenda, global warming, global community? That sounds nice. Global security, global health, global religion, global governance, global warming, another farce, another fart in the wind of the globalists, and everybody's bowing down, all these globetards, upside down, of course. If you're, for instance, Max Egan in Australia, he's upside down, bowing down to this false image called globalism. So these guys, they think they're truthers. All they're doing is advancing globalism. That's how stupid they are. And their ancestors, who are far more intelligent than them, are rolling in their graves. They are rolling in their graves thinking, how fucking stupid has my DNA become that they will believe Santa Copernicus. Oh, by the way, Copernicus has the name Nick in it twice. Nicholas Copernicus. Nick is the devil. Nick is Satan. Oh, and 150 years later, Galileo Galilei, he also had the same word twice. And what does Galileo mean? Galilee, well, it means revolutions, to move, to turn, to revolve. Now, isn't it funny that his last recanting words were, and yet it moves? Do you think the stupid people have been played a trick on by these Jesuits? Galileo Galilei, who was more a real person than Pinocchio. Do you really think that these guys knew what they were doing when they gave you these Jesuit liars like Newton with his theory of gravity, theory of gravity, theory of gravity? These guys, they were stupid, and the people who bow down to these morons are more stupid. So the third motion, we're spinning. We're really spinning. These upside down globies, I'm going to pull their panties down. And if any one of you want to debate me, please debate me on your biggest forum. All of you, grab 100 of the best globetards that think you know something, and I'll take you all on, and we'll have a nice time. I'll be nice. I'll respect you, and we'll debate about whether we live on a stationary horizontal plane, as everyone knew 500 years ago, or we're living on a Jesuit globetard reality. It's going to be a nice day for truth, and it's the biggest truth. So I'm glad you picked that subject, because I'm the one to expose it, I think, the best, because I like to torment the stupid globetards who think they know something. I'd love to name some names. I'd love to know some names. I never watch them. Once they think they're on a globe, I never watch them again because I know they're stupid.
Yeah, thanks for that.
So the third stupid movement of Copernicus, notice my third finger is sticking up appropriately. Copernicus, up yours, you satanic Jesuit liar, and all your followers. The third motion, get this, is we're flying at about, I think it's 6 billion miles an hour around the center of the galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy. Here comes the fourth motion. Please hold your laughter. Please hang on to your laughter. The fourth motion is the whole galaxy is going around the center of the universe at a gazillion miles an hour. I know it's not a gazillion, but I'm just having some fun because this is how stupid people are. Now, if we were doing those four motions, globetards, even just this one and this one, 550,000 mile an hour traveling around the sun, we would see different stars every minute. Not every day, not every year, not every 450,000 years as tabulated and recorded by the Egyptians. Never has there been any parallax being registered between any star. Never have new stars turned up. Never do the stars that we're racing towards at breakneck speed, never do they get brighter. And the ones we're leaving behind, never do they get dimmer. But every year, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Oh my God, how boring. I'm going to complain to the creator as a globetard. I'm going to pretend to be a globetard, and I'm going to write to the creator and say a prayer. And I'm going to say to God, I'm going to say, God, for all of this movement that you've put us under, all this racing around, wobbling, twisting, turning, orbiting, rotating, thrusting, all these freaking movements. I can feel the earth shaking right now. My God, it's trembling. So feels stationary to me, doesn't it? It really kind of feels pretty solid. Like the Bible says, I have created the earth firm and immovable forever. It shall never totter. And I've seen that verse in about 10 different parts of the Bible. The fact that the creator of this system is so proud of the fact that he made it firm and immovable forever and ever. So we're racing around the universe at breakneck speeds. It's just amazing how fast. Notice during the daytime when we're racing toward, because the Earth is facing the sun, and notice from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. how much more pressure there is than at night when the reverse side, we are in the wake of the Earth pushing through this atmosphere. And notice how you get more sucked into the Earth at night and you're more dense and there's more gravity. It's different, isn't it? It's like, yeah, no, methinks no. It's the same gravitational, what's the gradient? What's the word I'm looking for? During the day as it is at night. If we were rotating, we would feel pressure for half the day. We would feel to be in a vacuum for half the day. And we don't. It's the same, because we do live on a flat Earth and the sun is rotating over the flat Earth in a circle. And so if I would say to God, I would say, hey, dude, it's getting pretty boring. Same old stars, and we've been traveling at breakneck speeds for gazillions of years. Can you give us some new stars to look at, God? I mean, I'm bored of Aries. It's just stuck there in the firmament and it doesn't move. Can you just give us one new star? Like, put it in Orion. Make Orion the first constellation not to be named the constellation of 7 stars, just as the Big Dipper is Ursa Major, just as Draconis is. It's always the brightest 7 stars. Let's have a new star in Orion. How about that, God? Because we've been traveling for a long time, we globetards, and we're spinning and rotating and everything, but the same stars. And Polaris never, ever seems to move from the middle of the dome, God. I mean, Polaris should have had some parallax or movement with all the wobbling and all the breakneck speeds that we're doing, God. Why is Polaris stuck there? So this is one thing I would say to the upside down spinners. That's what I call them. I call them Santa Ballers as well. So now that you've heard that, you can take that to bed at night and you can repeat Santos Bonacci, rubbing it in your nose that you think that you're a globetard, a Santa Baller. And you can say the word Santa Baller instead of counting sheep to fall asleep. And with my name attached to it, please. Now, this is how stupid people are. It takes 8 hours to fly from Paris to London, to New York. How long does it take to fly from New York to Paris? Well, it's the same time, exactly the same time. Give or take a few minutes. So when the plane's traveling at 500 miles, traveling in the eastern direction from, say, Paris to New York. Let me get my globe right. I'm globetard now, so I'm praying to God for help to understand where we live. So if you're flying from New York to Paris and the Earth is going faster than you, it's 1,040 miles an hour, and it's going past 1 Mach, so it must be booming. The Earth must be booming all the time, like breaking the speed of sound, which is only 750 miles an hour, right? So you don't hear that sonic boom all the time somehow. Interesting about that. Maybe we're deaf. So you're going from New York to Paris and the Earth's going faster than you are. and you get there in 8 hours. Now you're going to fly back, and the Earth's flying toward you at 1,000 miles an hour, and you're going 500 miles an hour. So really, you should get to New York in about 10 minutes. Just wait for the New York to come, because you're going backwards at 500 miles an hour. See, people don't think. They don't trust their senses. Not their physical senses, your eyes, but your eye. Your eye tells you that we live on a flat plane. It's obvious. We can't be moving. Why are there machines that can detect 1/10 of a millimeter of movement of the Earth? There is an Italian scientist called Cecchi. Cecchi, quoted by the genius Pierluigi Gina, he said, "My friend Cecchi invented a seismic machine which will detect 1/10 of a millimeter of the movement of the Earth. And when the Earth moves, the bells on his machine go ding, 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 ding. And you know what? The only time they do that is when there's an earthquake, because that's the only time the Earth will move. And that is not moving. It's not moving still. It's shaking. It's trembling. So not even in earthquakes does it move. That's incorrect. And if you think and believe for 1 minute that you have science on your side, you'd better shut the fuck up right now, because one day you're going to look really stupid, because the horizontal stationary Earth truth will be revealed. It will be a known fact. It will be the true model we will revert to when we get rid of the Jesuits. And they are going down. And Pope Francis, they are going down. And once the globalists and their globe go down, we will know where we live. So don't think for 1 minute you have science on your side. You have pseudo-science by your side. We have science. We have James Bradley in 1789, Astronomer Royal, detected with his telescope the Earth is stationary. 150 years later, another Astronomer Royal, George Airy, repeated the telescope experiment. I can explain the experiment, how it works, and how it proves the Earth is stationary if we have time. But you can do that yourself. There are many videos showing the George Airy experiment. He proved that the Earth is stationary. Now, he wasn't Joe Blow. He was the Astronomer Royal. Thank you very much. Sagnac, a Frenchman, with his, I forget the name of his machine. I'll think of it in a minute. Michelson Morley had the same machine. They used light. They split a beam of light heading east, or rather north, perpendicular to the supposed motion of the Earth, on a massive disc. And they had their light beamers. They split the beam to go 4 ways, perpendicular and parallel with the supposed Earth movement. And they detected no, it's not aberration, that's the wrong word, interference in the wave patterns of the light, proving that there is no movement of the Earth, proving that. Pierluigi Gina worked with Marconi for 10 years. Pierluigi Gina, you can punch that in YouTube and you can watch him teach that the Earth is stationary. He worked with Marconi for 10 years. They developed a system by which they would measure if the Earth is moving or not. And they discovered that the Earth is motionless. It's stationary. Now, I could recount many, many more scientific experiments. Scientific, not pseudoscience. Science is repeatable, provable, so to be scientific, you must be able to repeat the experiment. It must be, my head's gone blank. Nonetheless, I'll get back to that in a minute if it comes to my mind. We, the horizontal stationary earthers, that's what I prefer to call them, we have science on our side. It's all on our side. We also you can do your own research to see how pilots are trained. Pilots in all areas, commercial pilots, military pilots, any pilot, all of their training manuals are all based on a quote unquote flat stationary earth, unquote. All of them. All pilots know this. They are trained to fly as though, because of course they've been tricked. Many pilots know the earth is flat. They laugh. Many intelligent pilots, by the way, they know through experience that the earth is flat, especially the ones that travel easterly, who follow the sun. They follow it enough to see that it's going around the flat earth. And they can see it always in their sight, always as it goes around, because they're high enough, and especially the ones who are flying close to the North Pole when the sun is in summer, close to the Tropic of Cancer. Many pilots have experienced this. They've watched the sun go right around full circle. You can see videos of the sun doing a circle in the midnight sun in Finland. You can see the sun going round over the earth, round and round and round. That cannot happen. If we were living on a globe, you wouldn't see that. What you would see is this, a sine wave, because we are also orbiting. We are not just rotating. If the sun is doing this in Finland, that's only a rotation. That does not describe any orbit. It should be doing this, a sine wave. Think, globe tards. Now's your chance to not have your panties being pulled down and your little tiny bits being exposed. Now's your chance, because I'm gonna have so much of a laugh. I totally disrespect these people who have studied flat Earth and still believe we're on a globe. These are globe tards. These I do not have in my company. These are stupid people. And if you associate with them, you are stupid, let alone having a partner as one. Run away from them, because they are stupid and they'll keep you stupid. Thank you. And I've got plenty more. I've got plenty more for these globetards. Lots of stuff.
Thank you for that, Santos. Let me just cover my because my mic is this any better? If I speak like that.
Yeah, it's better.
Awesome. Okay. You sure as hell came out guns blazing, man, and I feel that is the right way to send the message, because I've been. I totally dropped some people off the radar.
Brother, hang on, brother. It's not the right way. I don't have the right way. It's my way. The right way is to make products with proofs in them, which I have done. So when I do interviews, that's different. I preach my way, not the right way. So maybe for you it's the right way. I think it is the right way, but I'm not suggesting that other people that are teaching the truth about the earth do it my way, because I've had in 2018 and 2019, when you put flat Earth in Google search, my name was on top for nearly 2 years. And I've been very, very, very attacked by Santa Ballers, even astrologers who think the moon is a rock. And yet Ptolemy tells us that all of the planets are luminaries and are purely luminous. And yet you've got a lot of globe-tard astrologers who are false prophets teaching that the moon's a rock. What a bunch of retards. So this is my way, because this, all the time that I've known the truth, I have tormented the liars and the globe-tards who are not ignorant, but who know both models and default to the herd mind, satanic Jesuit Copernican lie model, because they've got no cojones. They want their reputations intact. Like Max Egan. Max Egan, one day, he said, yep, the Earth's flat. The next day, he recanted like Galileo Galilei, another Jesuit, and he said, it's both flat and a globe. And then on the third day, he said, hang on, the boogeyman told me to say the Earth was flat. And then another boogeyman visited me in my dreams the next night and told me to say that it's flat and round. And now I'm telling you the truth, because I'm a globe-tard and I'm stupid. The world is a Jesuit globalism globe. Good on you, Max. You're a globie, aren't you? All of you globies. All of you don't preach the flat earth and you think you're a preacher. Jeff Berwick often, I don't know why Jeff Berwick is way smarter than you. He knows the earth's stationary, but he keeps quoting you. Jeff, listen up. Stop quoting Max Egan. He's a fucking dumbass because he's upside down spinning, picking his nose in Australia, telling you that we're all going to be doomed and dying. At least Jeff Berwick's got a positive attitude and he knows that we're going to win this. But why do you quote a globe-tard like Max Egan, Jeff? Makes you look stupid. Okay, next question.
Yeah, okay, let me just cover my mic. Thanks for that, Santos. I feel like this is the biggest issue and the biggest, if there's a secret, and biggest conspiracy, which is not knowing the planet and the house that we live on. So let me just, I mean, there's much more we can speak on flat earth, but let's just end on that. And the next subject I want to speak on is this whole COVID bullshit, this whole fucking thing about vaccines and COVID passports. I see it very obviously creeping onto us, what they're trying to do. Why do you think that people just don't want to see what's really going on? What do you think is really stopping them, especially people in Singapore?
Globalism, global agenda, global community. We're all in this together. Yeah. Global ideals, global ideologies, globalists and their false teachers, whom I've just mentioned a few of them. That's what is behind COVID. The Jesuits dominate all over the earth, all over their global agenda. And how does it happen that every nation has followed the protocols and followed the lockdown in lockstep with each other, all of them, because everybody's bowing down to the Santa Ball. That is what's behind COVID. When we wake the fuck up and know that we're living on what all scriptures teach, all the ancients taught ever, is that we live on a stable, stationary earth surrounded by a massive toroidal field of powerful, powerful magnetism, which is making a beautiful, beautiful biosystem in which we live, in which the weather of the earth takes care of itself as the sun goes around and creates magnetic weather. Everything is magnetic. That will stop people wearing the masks, you see. All of these false prophets, I call them, that are globies, they are just continuing to fight under the banner of globalism. They've got no idea. They're just going to keep going in the same old poo. They're just different smell, same shit.
Yeah, it feels like they themselves don't know they're doing it, but I really sense that they're doing the best that they can. And but then again, because they don't see the most basic truth, they're just dancing in their own pigsty and their own shit. They're just like one conspiracy after another. They're just going around and around. And I really agree that by understanding where we live on a flat earth, um, we come to believe that we are here for a much bigger reason than to just consume and die. Um, I mean, there's so much things we can talk about, and so much more time we need to spend to really be more thorough about this one. But I just want to go on to the next topic, which is the your work, your main body of work now. I believe you're focusing on syncretism and magnetic healing. Can you speak more about that?
Well, that's the source energy, not the force energy of the universe, magnetism. It's the essence, the quintessence. It's the dielectric field. Magnetism is what perturbates the field and then generates a transverse wave, which is electricity, redshift, blue shift. And that is the material world. The material world is redshift, blue shift. So magnetism, being a radial wave, is much more powerful and healing than the transverse wave, which is what all of the hospitals are using. Wi-Fi, 5G, all the technology, I think even MRI scanners, X-rays, they are all using transverse waves, electricity, and they are harming you. We, with our machines, use magnetic pulses. These are pulse machines, and that's a radial wave, which is a cold wave. It's gravitation, compression, blue shift energy. It's not radiation, redshift, right turning, centrifugal, divergent type of energy. It's the Schauberger type. It's the Edward Leeds Scanlon. It's the Tesla, Dersenval, Odin. All of these guys were using this technology, and that's what we're doing. We have healing machines. Christian, the builder of the machines, has healed himself of terminal cancer. He is as healthy as can be. He is building many machines right now for mail orders, and people can have these in their homes. And what they will do is they will pulse a magnetic healing frequency, which will kill the parasites and the mites in the body, which are eating away at the flesh, the muscle, the bones, everything. These parasites absolutely destroy human organisms and are the reason why we have a short lifespan of 70, 80, 90, and 100 years. Without parasites and mites, we would be living for thousands of years. So magnetism is one of the most powerful protocols for eliminating parasites in the whole organism. And there are many other good ones as well, but this one is very effective and it works pretty much instantaneously. You feel good. You feel good on the machines. It relieves pain pretty much instantly. So that's what we're working with at the moment. We are starting a school, an academy here. We've already registered the name. So I won't tell you what the name of this academy healing center is going to be called, but the domain has been registered and it has the word syncretism in it. So it's going to be all about syncretism. We're going to bring back the Neoplatonic academies. Thank you, Justinian, for shutting them down in the year 527. And your whore of a wife, who removed the doctrine of reincarnation from the scriptures, the Bible, because she was a whore, obviously, and you were married to a whore, and you also created dog Latin and legalese and Justinian law. That's the Justinian who shut down the Neoplatonic academies after they murdered Hypatia, destroyed the Alexandrian library, and destroyed syncretism and what they called eclecticism up until today. So I'm going to be the first one in history to open a proper Neoplatonic academy. It has to be based on vegetarianism, plant-based diet, white tantra, non-ejaculatory sex, all ones who astrology will be the mother of the sciences, of all the sciences to be taught, because it's the only one that explains electromagnetism best. Astrology. If you want to know, the ancients left us this wisdom so that we would know and master and understand the electromagnetic universe and how it works. So this academy is going to be in honor of Porphyry, who was a vegetarian and wrote explicitly 1700 years ago, before Justinian shut down their schools, their mystery schools. Porphyry was teaching that the path of ascension is astrology and vegetarianism. Thank you very much. And any truther out there who eats animal bum, I think Jeff Berry, whom I just quoted and gave him some respect, I've seen him at barbecues eating animal bum. Yeah, you really can't be a real truther when you're murdering animals and exploiting them and giving your dogs dog food from the murder industry. Check out Charlie Freak and his 25 vegan dogs, Jeff. You don't need to be a murderer. You don't need to support the murder industry, and you don't need to eat steaks in your shows. It's disgusting. Flesh eating is absolutely disgusting, and it's the way to hell. According to Bhagavad Gita, if you're a flesh eater, you will be murdered. You will reincarnate as an animal from the bums you stole off. You know, when you have pork, when you have bacon in the morning, that's pig bum. You are what you eat. You will reincarnate as that animal, and you will be murdered by a human being and eaten by that human being. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. That's millions of years of wisdom there. And the Buddhists, of course, with millions of years of wisdom, they taught that if you so much as murder an animal, let alone eat its bum, you will perish in hell. So good luck to your truthing and ascension process. Stem cells ain't going to get you to heaven. Cryptocurrency ain't going to get you to heaven. You got to stop bum eating, because if you eat bum, you're a bum. You're not a truther. You can't be a truther if you're murdering and exploiting animals. You are an animal pimp. You are an animal exploiter, and you are an animal murderer, because you have to murder a sentient being before you eat its bum.
Thanks for that, Santos. I tell you what, the me thing, I'm still a bit on it, so I can't say I'm a truther, because I personal train for a living, and the best performance I found would be steak. However, I'm not sure if it's because the quality of plants that we're getting in Singapore, or it's because of the way of whoever have done something to our bodies that's not assimilating plants properly. I think maybe in the future I have to look deeper into veganism and exactly how I can perform and deadlift and bench press really heavier with plants. But for now, we just leave it at that. The last topic I want to touch on, which is what you just touched on just now, which is common law. Singapore is heavily run and dictated by law. And it's only recently I've come across this whole birth bond fraud. It's definitely a huge topic, which needs a lot of time to unpack. Is there anything you want to say about it to the people of Singapore who are so ruled by the laws they themselves don't understand?
Yeah, before I do, I just want to conclude that the best performers in athleticism and weightlifting right now are vegans. So all you're doing is you're stealing a life and to steal their energy. You're not getting any benefit. Physically, you may feel benefit, but spiritually, you're devastated. You're committing murder, and it's a bloodlust vice. It's gluttony. You have a blood addiction. You are addicted to the adrenaline in the blood when they murder the animals, because animals hate being murdered. And so that's all you're getting, just a bit of adrenaline. You're being fooled. You don't fool yourself. Go to YouTube, check out all the vegans. They run circles around the bum eaters. They run circles around them. Now, common law is the law of nature, okay? Positive law is man's law. When you obey man's law, you are sinning against God. You are sinning against the magnetic, intelligent universe. And therefore, you will reincarnate again and again and again when you don't know who you are. You're a spirit being having a physical experience. Once you have a corporate name and you believe that you are that name and you use it and you make a contract with some official of the Vatican Empire working for the crown, then you become their straw man and you are their bitch. Therefore, when you separate yourself from that name and that corporate fiction and get out of maritime ships and citizenships and act as you know that you are a man with soul and spirit, then you cannot partake in that world. Or you can, because it was made to be used, but not made for us to be that. See, people think that they are that. They're supposed to take control of that. So it's a public facility. It's a public social service, but it's not who we are. Who we are sovereign beings, because we were born free. We were born to live under the spirit of freedom, because that is how the universe is. That the universe is based on freedom, truth, and love. And so the light of the universe does not allow enlightened beings to partake in that world. That's why it says you are in the world, but be no part of the world. So the philosopher, which is what I recommend that people become, a lover of wisdom, that's what I would call myself, or a mystic, or anyone who wants to be of that kind, an oracle, a diviner, a spiritualist, etc. Those are all good words. They must walk on that path. They must know the truth about sovereignty and the corporate name, the truth about the true human frugivore diet. We are frugivore, period. No argument. Every scientific test ever created confirms that the human is a frugivore. The truth about the flat earth, that has to go out. That has to go out big. There's a movie coming out, a documentary soon called Level, and I will be in it. I will share some of my stuff in that video. And when that comes out, the globetards, they're going to want to just shut up, because you've got nothing to say. You're going to embarrass yourself one day. You look stupid already by we enlightened flat earthers. We are the most enlightened of all the beings that I've ever known. all the enlightened beings that are around me, they're all flat earthers, all of them. There's no globe tarts. I don't do globe tarts. I don't do them. You're too stupid. Way too stupid.
Yeah, I did notice that the people in the flat earth, it feels like they are some kind of a different breed. Like once you get to know that the earth is flat, everything else falls into a proper perspective. And I want to ask, I notice there's a percentage of people that just refuse to see the facts. People just don't want to see that, for example, Polaris doesn't even move. We can see too far. All these are indisputable facts. Where does this leave the whole people who are still believing in space and the lying son of bitches, NASA and whatnot? Why do you think they just can't accept it?
Because they still haven't broken away from the herd mind, the hive mind. They think they are in a complete use of their own brain, their own mind, but they are not. They are repeaters of secondhand knowledge. Yeah. If I go around saying to you that my boss's car is red, because I trust my boss and he told me that his car is red, and I've worked for him for 30 years and he's always been a good, honest man. And I go around telling people that my boss's car is red. It's got a red car. Because I heard it from him. That's secondhand knowledge. It may not be red because lo and behold, my boss is colorblind. He doesn't know colors. So I need to go to his garage, open the door and see with my own eyes. And lo and behold, his car's blue. He's got a blue Lamborghini. And I've been telling everybody that he's got a red Lamborghini. So I've become an inadvertent liar, like a parrot, repeating secondhand truth. The earth's round. You got to eat your meat. And all of these stupid Jesuit lies. Humans have only been eating meat since the Jesuits have been around because they are the teachers. They own the abattoirs like they own Justinian law. They own the papal bulls. They own the COVID patents. Yeah. They run the Inquisition. The Inquisition still exists. Look at Wikipedia and put in the word Inquisition and read the third paragraph and see that the Inquisition is still around, baby. It was renamed 2 years after I was born.
Thanks for that, Santos. I mean, there's so much more topics I want to get into, but we're almost at the top of the hour, and I don't want to take any more of your time. The last thing I want to touch on is there? I just want to go at least into speculation. What do you think is outside the firmament? Where do you think this cycle, this so-called Great Reset, is going? What do you think lies after that? I mean, for this future of our generation at least, where do you see this going? Because I don't see. I'm just only hoping that it's a happy ending for us. But where do you see all this going?
So what's beyond the firmament is what's called the crystalline sea. The Bible speaks about it as well in Revelation, the crystalline sea. And it is the sphere, the ninth heaven, the ninth sphere or belt or whatever you want to call it, of Neptune. Neptune rules the waters, Poseidon. So there is a waters above and waters below. There are waters, electromagnetic waters beyond the firmament. And then beyond that is what Pluto dominates. Pluto dominates what's called the primum mobile. The primum mobile is the outer shell of the torus field universe that we live in. And so it is the 10th. In the Kabbalistic tree, there are 10 Sephiroth. Pluto is that 10th outer primum mobile in astrology. The Ptolemaic tropical astrological model is the model I teach. So if you want to know what model I teach, as opposed to astrologers or the ancients, I teach their model because I think they are smarter than the Jesuit education system. Much, much, much smarter. So I trust them and I use their model. So go to Ptolemy, all of you globe-tart astrologers out there, and see that the Earth is stationary, okay? And go to all the official training manuals of the airports, the military, the Air Force. Go to their manuals. Go check in. You can even just look in YouTube and to see training manuals, flat Earth pilots. Put those words in. You'll get a whole bunch of videos of guys who have done research who have shown and exposed that officially we live on a flat Earth. If you want to be a pilot, you're going to be trained. So it's best that we listen to the ancients. They were all vegetarian, they were all stationary earthers, and they were all sovereigns. They did not come under Vatican Admiralty law, ecclesiastical law. It's the law of the devil. It's the law of the devil. And very soon the Pope and all his Jesuit pedophiles, they will all be in jail. They will all go to hell. They will perish.
Santos, what do you think is the last question at least? What do you think is the biggest evidence that this would end well for us? That this will be that all these sick fucks out there eating babies and shit like that, that these guys would have justice due. Because for me, I'm a very pessimistic person. So if there's any ounce of assurance, like, oh shit, man, I'm gonna look into it. I wanna enforce it. I want to get the word out there. I want to make sure that this is the right information. I want people to know that, like you said, the Earth is flat. That is so basic. And I want to, like, is there any kind of information we can look on to see that we are going the right way? Is there anything we can do? Whatnot?
Brother, we're going the right way. We're waking up. We're taken care of. We are taken care of. The universe is of love and truth and light. These are the pillars upon which the universe is founded. This is only a temporary, very, very temporary bad dream stage of our experience. This nightmare will end very soon. How soon, I don't know. I haven't done enough mundane astrology. I've been so busy with projects here, every day meetings with people, every day busy. So I haven't really looked so far and had a look to see what potentially might come, but I think Aries is going to bring some great changes, and it will bring a lot of friction. There's going to be friction in Aries. There's going to be a lot of starting of fights that will begin in Aries. Fights will begin in Aries, but the two will come. I think the two will come and battle it out in the sheep and the goat, the asleep and the awakened will battle it out, and the awakened will win. They will win. At least they will win on the timeline in which they will exist. We will not, once awakened, we will not be allowed to suffer further by staying on this timeline. So I believe that they're going to just transition into hell, which is what the world is becoming. What is becoming is potentially going to be a reality for a lot of people, and they will go down on that road to hell. And the enlightened and awakened ones, they're going to be looked after. It's in all the scriptures that we will be looked after in that day. If we endure till the end, we will be saved. What that salvation entails, I don't know exactly, but it's maybe we'll be shifted into a different dimension of this universe where only our kind exists, because on this plane, many kinds exists. Evil, indifferent, good, angelic, heroic, all kinds of people live on this plane. We live on this plane with murderers, with gurus, with prostitutes and whores, with pimps, with doctors. There's all kinds. There's evil and there's good, if you want to think of it that way. I don't think of it that way. But when we transition, when our time comes and we are looked after, we of like mind will all be together. We will be together, rest assured. So stay on the flat earth, stay solid. You're not upside down spinning, and do all the syncretism protocols. I teach them all on my channel, Mr. Astrotheology. Go there and learn, people. Learn direct truth. You don't want that secondhand truth. Oh, my boss's car is red. Don't bother. On my channel, and pretty much on my channel alone, you will get direct knowledge. You will see with your own eyes the truth, because I teach truth, because there is only truth. Watch out for those who say there is no truth. Watch out for those ones. Those work for the Jesuits.
Thanks for that, Santos. I want to end it on that. But just the very last thing, we can find you on Mr. Astrotheology on YouTube. Is there any other way we can look up your information anywhere else?
Yeah, you can go to my website, universaltruthschool.com. There's a lot of resources there, lots of good things there. Everything's free. I do have graphics which are for sale, of course. That supports syncretism. And I have my music. I'm a musician as well. I have 3 albums for sale there on 432 hertz. They were converted. They weren't done originally on 432 hertz. They were recorded on 440. So they're not authentic 432, but it is my music, and you can support syncretism that way as well.
Yeah, I've heard some of his music, and that's it's truly some great shit. Sometimes I just listen to it just for fun. I remember videos where you were playing on the streets, and I mean, is it Latin music? I forgot. But I mean, whatever the case, I truly enjoy it. And thank you for doing this. I'm gonna stop recording now.
Yep. Thank you, brother.